Hello everyone, my name is Maufung. In this video, I'm going to talk about how can you control your life and your destiny. Now before I begin, I want to just give you a few briefing about all this. The first one is time management. In this time management, I will teach you how to manage your time. Second one is first serve, no sense. In this point, I will talk about why the first doesn't serve no sense at all. The third point, dream without deadline is just a dream. In that third point, I will talk about why you need to have a deadline to fulfill your dream. Fourth, be a learner, not a warrior. That means don't be worrying about your fast. Stop that because it will hamper your life. So that's what I will going to explain that point. Fifth, take a baby step and be consistent. In that fifth point, I will talk about why you need to take a baby step, why you need to be consistent in order to be successful. Now let's go back to the first point, time management. It is very important that you manage your time because a lot of times we waste our time doing unnecessary things. And here one technique you can use, the time blocking. The time blocking technique is this. You set your time for particular. Suppose in the morning you do brushing your teeth, then you meditate, then you exercise. So you are blocking that particular time for that task. So that way you can block the entire day with the help of time blocking technique. So, but if you don't manage your time, it will be very difficult to to be successful because you need to do certain. There will be a most important priority, less important priority, and rarely important priority. This you need to have to categorize, like you cannot sit in a computer whole day. You need to take a rest. You need to have a food. You need to have a lunch. So whatever dinner. So it's very important that we manage our time so that so that our life become meaningful. So that we become more successful. You can use many techniques like time blocking or planning ahead of the week. You do in this week, in Monday this task I will do, in Tuesday this is task I will do, or you can what I call daily ritual. I used to do in a daily ritual technique where I used to write it down. This is like 10 points that I will going to do today, like tomorrow 10 points. The 10 points I will write which are the things I'm going to do. So whenever I'm done, I will put a highlighter under that task which I have already done. It's very important that you write it down already, so that it becomes more easier to just highlight it, because a lot of times you feel tired, laziness, to write it, thinking about what I have to write, next. So it's very, you write it down, the task that you want to do. Suppose you want to do that whatever you want to do tomorrow, you write it down now, or maybe just before we going to bed at night. That way you can use this technique also. The second point is first serve, no sense. The faster you realize that first serve, no sense is going to be really helpful in your life, because most people live in this mentality, like I'm living in my fast because this happened to my life. My father was a drunkard, so that is why I used to drink beer. I became addicted to drinking, smoking. This is nonsense. You are giving an excuse, and you are giving an excuse, a foolish excuse, doesn't make any sense. So it's very important that you forget the past. Whatever happened is past, just forget it. Just look at the future. What do you have? You have how many days you have left in your life, how many hours you have left. Just count that. Just work on your dream, because in the end your goal is more important than your fast, because fast is fast. You cannot do change. Whatever today I'm like about to be 30 after 4 or 5 years. I cannot be a like teenager anymore. I'm no more a teenager. I cannot go back there. because this is my past. Now I can only look back to the look into my future. Like I want to what will want to be in the future. I can only look forward to that, because if I keep on looking in my past, nothing will going to happen in my life. I will be remain the same even after 5 years. So it's very important that I realize that first serve no sense. The sooner you realize that, the better it will be. Third point, dream without deadline is just a dream. It's very important that you have a deadline. Most of the successful person will say, write down your goals and make sure you put a deadline, because when you have a deadline, you are giving more fire to it. Just like in an exam, suddenly if teachers exam parents decided that we will hold the exam anytime we want, imagine what will happen to the student. They will revolt against the system. They will say that we cannot be like that. We cannot be a slave of this university. It will be like a slave. It's when a person is one person, person is underworking one person, that owner has every right to tell him do that. When it's done, suppose cook a rice, and when the rice is done, cook meat. When meat is done, clean the house. When house is done, clean house is done, go and close. So you can tell him or her to do many tasks in a day. It doesn't matter which hour in a day, or even night also. So what is happening is that there is no deadline. He can keep on telling that servant to do the. So when you have a deadline, like this hour I will tell my servant to this after that, then this hour. So there is a deadline now. And when you have a deadline, he will have the efficiency of this work will be much better. He will work more better, because when he will have a overload with so many works, he will not the energy, and he will be less, and the what will then the work will be less better, less good. So just like in exam, we knew a deadline, we know that we have to work. Suppose I know if I am tomorrow exam, if I don't know, I will not prepare, because there are my students who do last preparation just before the exam. Even after that, they do a great able to get a good mark. Now I've seen in my life, my friends are doing great even just one day after the exam. So this is the reason why I'm telling you that you should, if you have a dream, you should have a deadline, because when you have deadline, you are working on it consistently. Just imagine you're drinking water, and you don't know, your body suddenly, your conscious mind doesn't work properly, and you're drinking water. What will happen? You will start vomiting, because there will no space left in your stomach. You have the capacity. When you drink water, your brain subconsciously tell you to that, oh, it's done. Don't drink any more water. You cannot take any more water. See, this is what will happen. If you have deadline, you will consciously, oh, tomorrow I have to complete it. Tomorrow is my last date, my deadline. If I don't make it, I will not able to make it. So if you have a deadline, that feeling will start to come in your mind. That thoughts will start to appear in your mind. That is why you need to have a dream with a deadline. The fourth point is be a learner, not a warrior. warrior. So when you're a learner, you begin to learn so many things. You learn how to, if you work starting on an entrepreneur, you will learn the coding. You will learn the skill of that, how to be successful. And then, no worry, you will start worrying, and even if I become, I will fail. Even if I do a job, I will fail there also. So, but when you become a learner, there's a small kid who's asking, who's curious and asking so many questions. Why this pen is moving? Why there is here today? Why this summer is coming back? Why the winter is gone? So you're curious. You're more curious. You're learning more. Suppose suddenly you want to do a online shopping. Then you will have to learn coding. Then you will learn the basic functioning of the computer, how it works. Then the marketing strategy, and how will you produce the where you will audience you will target. So you are exploring. That curious mind is there in your mind, and start to explore, and indirectly you are becoming a learner. You're not worrying, and you are not just worrying that, oh, if I become that entrepreneur I will fail. No one going to buy in. Instead of becoming that, you have to be a learner. When you become a learner, your chances of becoming successful become increase. You're you're more dedicated, you're more efficient, you're more you become more skillful, because you are not a learner, you're not a warrior. You're not worrying over the consequence. You are just constantly focusing on that work. You're constantly thinking that, yeah, I can work, I can do it, yes I can become, like that. And the fifth point, take a baby step and be consistent. It is very important that you need to take a baby step. No one can become successful in one day. So you have to take a baby step. When you take a baby step, just like a baby, the baby starting to walk in a one step, two step, you are in a consistent position, just like you are pedaling, cycling a bicycle. If you don't stop, if you stop pedaling, you fall down because you lose balance. When you could, you don't fall. You just, there is a movement. But when you take a baby step, you are being consistent. So when you're taking a baby step, small step. Don't take a big step, because sometimes you never know what will happen. You're supposed trying to be a tourist guide, and you don't know the knowledge of that area, that heritage site. So it will be difficult even to guide a tourist. You will be fooling yourself. What you will say? You will take a baby step. You will get under someone who is very expert. You will learn from them, and try to learn from them, and then then you will be guided. You will watch them how they are doing, and you will imitate them, and slowly you will develop your own style, and the clients will start coming you. So what are you doing? You are taking a baby step. You're not directly going there and I'm tourist guide. Please come to me. I will. You are doing a terrible. You will be like doing a terrible mistake. So it's better you take a baby step and consistent. That way you can be a successful. I hope this video will help you. Thank you.